Aloha guys, happy Wednesday and day 3 of our prep. I wanted to come and share this recipe with you all, especially for those of you, well, for everyone really, because it's cool to know this. I know I was intimidated to try to do this the first time that I ever did, but I am hooked now, and once you go this way, you know how easy it is and how much different it tastes, and so you don't go back. And I personally, and what I'm referring to is how to make homemade nut milks. I prefer almond. Cashew milk is also awesome. You can really do any kind of nut. And the reason that we ended up going into being a nut milk based family was because dairy was really causing a lot of inflammation for Mike. As I mentioned in my earlier videos this week, I started to tune into certain things that were causing more harm than good in our family, and he had been a long time milk drinker. And when we started to eliminate dairy for both he and I, inflammation in my body went down, natural weight gain started. McKenna has never really drank cow's milk, and I get that question all the time. What about the littles in cow's milk? She's never drank it, never had an issue. She gets enough calcium from her vegetables. She gets enough calcium in other areas. So what I wanted to show you today was how easy it is to make your own. I did go over in my earlier videos which store-bought ones I get and what I look for to make sure that is not in there, which is carrageenan, that emulsifying agent that makes it more creamy. A lot of brands have become hip to the fact that that's something that people that know what to look for are watching for. It's known to cause chronic inflammation and lacerations on your liver. It's just a preservative that doesn't need to be in it, and so they've started to eliminate it in a lot of mainstream nut milks that you can buy off the shelf. So that's the way you want to go, awesome. But because I make Shakeology every single day of my life, and I really wanted to try this my hand at doing the cleanest alternatives possible, especially on weeks that I'm either doing a cleanse or a clean eating challenge, I won't use the store-bought milks because they do have some preservatives in them. They're still far better than a lot of other options out there, but I just choose to make my own, and it's super, super simple, so I'm going to do that. I'm also going to share with you a few adult-type beverages. Obviously, right now, with being pregnant, I'm not indulging in that, but I have and do, and one of the beauties of the way that I choose to lead these groups, or the reason that this lifestyle works for me, is because it's not an elimination all or nothing thing. We are realistic about life, realistic about the fact that, you know, if you are going to swap in some alcohol, you might want to take it easy and do a detox, like a 3-day little cleanse on the back end, and give yourself an opportunity to clean yourself out. Or you might just, you know, like want to choose a different type of alcohol or not go as heavy on what you're choosing, something that has less sweetener to it. So I wanted to give you a few of those as well. So I'll tack those on at the end, but let's get into the almond milk. So starting out, I have about a cup and a half to almonds. Go with raw, unsalted, unroasted, and I soak them overnight in water. And as you can see, the water is really murky. See how that water is super murky? That's the external enzyme layer that comes off. Once that comes off, these almonds become more of a living organism. You see the skin can peel right off of there. That means it's germinated. This goes for legumes and beans. If you're somebody that gets really gassy from a lot of those types of things, soaking quinoa, soaking legumes, those types of things can work really well for your digestion because it soaks off that outer layer. That is what usually causes a lot of that gassiness in your system. So soak the almonds overnight. So these have soaked overnight. So I'm going to rinse those bad boys off. Just give them a good rinse. I usually have my strainer, but my strainer is underneath I have the camera propped up on. So, okay, so you rinse off the almonds real good. And again, this goes for all nuts. So whatever you're deciding to use, if you're deciding you want to go with cashews, you would use the same exact process. Now I'm going to show you how you can use flavoring, but you don't have to. It's honestly good without it. I don't flavor mine anymore. I used to flavor it with a little bit of alcohol-free vanilla and sweeten it with a few dates. But I don't even do that anymore. I just do straight almonds. But I'm going to show you how to do both. So once you have that, I swear by this. This is my Vitamix. I make homemade soups. I make smoothies. I make my Shakeology in this every day. This has been worth its weight in gold. So I use this all the time for my nut milks. You can make nut butters in it. For a clean foods-based lifestyle, a good blender is money. So Vitamix, add my cup to a cup and a half of almonds. Almonds, and then I just fill this all the way up to the top, which that would be about 4 cups of water. So I go all the way up until my thing runs out of water. So we're all the way up to the top there. And then At this point here, what you could add is some vanilla, a little just capful, a teaspoon of vanilla, and a few pitted dates. Dates are an amazing way to add natural sweetness. I'm going to be making a key lime pie later today, and I actually make the crust entirely out of pecans and dates and shaved coconut, and it's amazing. So dates are my go-to way to add sweetness to baked goods or bars or drinks. So if you wanted to sweeten your almond milk or your nut milk, add 2 or 3 dates. Make sure the pits are out. And then you've got this all ready to go. And you're going to toss it over here in the blender. I'm just going to blend it up super fast. I wanted to do this with you guys on live so that you knew how fast it went. I'm going to shake hands. That quick, and as you can see, it already looks milky, right? That's what happens to almonds, just almonds and water right there. So now we've got that going. What I have next is just a big old bowl, and I have, you can get nut milk bags. You can find them on Amazon, or you can find them at Whole Foods. I just got a reusable produce bag. They have these at the end caps in the produce section at Whole Foods. You can order these on Amazon too. And these are by Earthwise, B-Wise Earthwise. And it's just a reusable produce bag. So I take my bowl and I take my bag and I start pouring this through the bag into the bowl. And it starts to catch all those bigger particulates of almonds. Now, if I was super on top of things these days, I would save my pulp from the nut that's going to come out of this. I'll show it to you in a minute. So all I'm doing right now is squeezing this out. Squeezing all that milk out. You can see that milk all going into the bowl. So I'm just going to squeeze it all out, get every last drop. And this pulp that's being left behind, you can make crackers out of, you can dehydrate it down and make almond meal and use that as almond flour and different things, bars. I know some people that use it as a face scrub. There's all kinds of stuff you can do with this stuff. Me, on the other hand, you can even freeze it. If you don't have an intent for it right away, you can always throw it in the freezer and then use it later. For right now, I'm just going to set it aside. I don't really need it, right? So that is it, y'all. That is my nut milk. I have a carafe. I will put it in the carafe. I'll refrigerate it. It does not have any preservatives. So because there are no preservatives, it will only keep for 3 to 4 days. But one of these, because I have a daily Shakeology and because I use it in other stuff, this will only last me 3 or 4 days anyway. So I go through one or two of these batches a week. So I usually have almonds just soaking in my refrigerator for that reason, so that I can make 1 or 2 batches a week. I can buy bulk almonds in certain places. Costco has them, Whole Foods. You can order bulk nuts online. But if you want to do it, try it out for at least next week's clean eating challenge. When we try to go clean for a full 5 days, give it a go. I mean, it's really super simple, as you can see, to do it. Why not give it a try and at least figure out if the flavor is something that agrees with you, if eliminating dairy is something that can help you decrease inflammation in your body. Because, as I mentioned, one of my major advocacies is just for health in general. And one of the major indicators in our body for disease is inflammation. It means that our organs are inflamed, that different parts of our body are inflamed. And if you can start to eliminate the things that cause that inflammation, that aggravation, you can limit your flare-ups of illness and disease in your body. So I'm all about that. All right, beverages. All right, I typically go with water. I just like water. If you're going to flavor your water, I showed you this the other day. I showed you this. This is my Ultima. This is a vegan-based, 0-calorie. It's sweetened with stevia. This is great. They have other flavors. You can get it on Amazon, or you can get it at Whole Foods. I ordered this one off Amazon. We make popsicles out of this. I'll get little popsicle molds, mix this with a little bit of coconut water and just regular water. McKenna loves them. I also still, even though I'm pregnant, have my Energize. It's less than coffee, caffeine-wise, but it's like a lemonade flavor if I ever need that boost. I love this. This is by Beachbody too, but this is one of my go-tos. I also just will constantly be drinking this stuff. I'm not a huge carbonated drink person, but when I'm like this pregnancy, that I just want that carbonation. This one is the grapefruit LaCroix. So it's just got no sweetness to it at all whatsoever, but it's that carbonation and it gives me a little bit of flavor. So I drink this, which brings me to if you're doing adult beverages. So adult beverages, here's the thing. it's life, you're having them. In the Fix meal plan system, for those of you that are doing the 21-day Fix meal guide, which is all on BOD, all there for you to measure out, you can swap in twice a week if you're following it per the guide. Twice a week you can swap one of your yellow containers for wine or alcohol. Obviously, if you're mixing vodka or something with something like this, it's going to be a lot less calorically dense because there's not as much sweetness in it. You can add a few drops of stevia. I showed you my sweet leaf stevia stuff. You can add that. Another great way to go about it is to use, I'm not a big champagne drinker. It gives me a headache, but if you like champagne, champagne is more dry and has less sugar than even wine. And so you can get away with having a little bit more champagne mixed into, let's say like you want to make a fizz. You get some of the plain LaCroix with a little bit of the champagne and a few frozen berries, and you blend it all together. You can make a really nice cocktail. If you don't want alcohol in there, you can make yourself a mocktail if it's just that you don't want to feel left out at the pool. I've been making myself mocktails all the time. I do my kombucha in a wine glass and it makes me feel real fancy. You know, it just depends. For me, that's the other staple drink that I have all the time, and I'm out right now because I've drank it all, is my kombucha, except for Mike's big thing in there. I like Health Aid kombucha. That's my favorite. Pink Lady Apple and California Grape. Those are my two favorite kombuchas. I've even brewed my own. All kombucha is a fermented tea. It's got a great probiotic qualities for your gut. I'll make a shameful health plug here. So a huge portion of your immunity comes from your gut health. So if you are someone that's chronically ill or getting the snarfles or lethargic, you have to be looking at what's going on in your guts. I hear people, oh, I can digest anything, but then they're all sick all the time, or they just don't have the best overall constitution. It's probably because your guts aren't healthy. Taking care of a lot of people, and what's been the basis of their disease process is bad guts. So taking care of gut health, prebiotics, probiotics, which I get every day in my Shakeology, but that also can be gotten through kombucha. It can be gotten through that beet sauerkraut that I told you I love. Might sound weird, super yummy. Anything that's fermented has a big probiotic boost to it as well. So those are my picks. That's the beverage thing. I don't do soft drinks. I eliminated sodas long time ago. Mike occasionally will indulge in one. Not even diet, because a lot of the sweeteners in diet are more harmful than if you were to just go with the all and out sugar. I know I have soda drinkers in here. I would say try some of these alternatives to swapping it out if it's a carbonation thing. It's about making your mind up and determining what is more important long term for you, and figuring out maybe it's a caffeine thing you need to get over the hump, whereas something like this might be beneficial for you in the short term. Or if it's a flavor and sweetness thing, something like this could really work well for you, flavoring it and getting that extra electrolyte boost, and then you're doing something good for your body. I will say, just drinking water more consistently throughout the day too can have huge, overwhelming impact on your health. You'll notice a difference in your skin, in your energy. A lot of times we think we're tired in the afternoons, but really we're dehydrated, especially as we ease into these summer warmer months. You need to be consistently drinking water more because you'll feel that as lethargy in your body, but it's really just dehydration. So that's it, guys. I hope you found this helpful. Let me know if you have any questions. Post them down below, and I'll be back with you guys again tomorrow. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.